If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.
My GF says she's a mathematician, but I think she gives sexual massages. Is she lying? I've been dating my girlfriend for 4 months. She told me when we met that she was a mathematician, and she appears to have a lot of money. The thing is that she told me that her job is top secret and she's not allowed to tell anyone where she works. She also worked odd hours. I got very curious, so I decided to put a tracker on her car and watched where she was going over the course of a week. It appeared that she was going to some spa place. I looked the place up and saw an ad for it online featuring scantily clad women, including one that appeared to possibly be her, but without her face showing, and under a different name. I decided to pay the place a visit today outside her working hours and was greeted by 3 women. They told me that 2 of them were available immediately for an hour-long session, including a massage ending with a hand release. I chose one of the girls. I had to use an ATM to withdraw a large sum of money and hand it to her, then we went into a room. I had to shower first, then the girl gave me a massage while we were both naked, including body slides where she rubbed her naked body on me. Afterwards, she gave me a hand job. I haven't told my girlfriend what happened, or that I know where she's been going. I feel the need to confront her about it, but I'm very nervous. I'm not sure what happened was even legal, and I'm not even 100% certain I put the tracker on the right car. Should I try and first make sure I know where she's going to work first? Should I just confront her about what happened? I can't imagine how she's react if that isn't really her workplace, but if it is, I want nothing to do with her anymore. I discovered the affair when I came home early to tell her about my diagnosis. I guess the only reason I am coming here is because in my situation and course of action does not allow me to fully disclose to those close to me. On the 1st of Dec I got the news I was dreading. All of the tests have confirmed the diagnosis. I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So basically this will be my last holiday season. I am okay with what is going to come. I am at peace with that. I have had a life well lived. All of my loved ones will be taken care of. I am naturally a private person, so my Jane is unaware of my tests. I did not want to worry her until I had answers. So I head home early to have the talk. This is not something I want to do over the phone or text. Well, as you can guess, since I am here, my life changed more than once that afternoon. When I arrive at the house, I noticed the car of one of my business partners in the drive. There was no mistaking it, flashy, expensive with a personalized license tag. To say this is out of the ordinary is an understatement. I pull up our home camera system on my phone and notice it is in privacy mode, not recording. So I let it be and drove off to my farm property. Now our camera system is for safety and I never look at it unless there is a concern. With that said, I also love to watch for wildlife on the outside cameras. I also find it oddly satisfying to watch storms come through. So for my own enjoyment, years ago I configured a second video recorder to archive the cameras to local storage. That storage is not accessible via my phone. So when I was at the farm, I opened up my computer and looked at the other server to confirm what my gut was telling me. And sure enough, there they were, snuggling in the living room, drinking wine, dancing, then going up to the bedroom suite. Apparently they left the doors open, because the microphone recorded their activities after they left the camera view. With my limited time left, I wanted answers, but I don't want the drama of a confrontation and divorce. Call me what you will. But all of my devotion and love for her left me that afternoon. I have all of the emotions that are to be expected. I know that I am not to blame. I have been a loyal, romantic, and attuned partner. I am now thinking about myself. I know what is important to me. So I called my lawyer, and we reviewed my will and our prenup. I told him what was going on. We worked on understanding of how long and to what extent this affair has been going on. What has been found is disturbing, and I either clearly did not know the woman I shared 2+ decades of life with, or something in her changed. At this time I am not going to say anything to my kids WW and I never had children or WW. I am going to put on a stiff upper lip and get through the holidays. Give the kids and grandkids one last holiday memory with me involved. I will be the doting father and grandfather, and then try to play the doting husband role. Some background for some of the obvious questions. AP is a widower and is not remarried. He is a business partner, but not a friend. I do not invest with friends. I never married my twins' mother M and F. It was her choice and I completely agree with her that at that time she made the correct decision. My kids' mother, Sarah, married a very wonderful man, Steve, when the kids were 7. Sarah and Steve never had kids of their own. I got my head out of my ass when the kids were 3. I have been very involved with them before that, but that is when I started my road to be the father I wanted to be. Sarah and I co-parented well together, and I would call Steve a friend. Sarah, Steve, and I are in our 60s, Jane is almost 60. AP is in his 50s. Jane and I are both in our first marriage. We were in our 30s when we married. What do I need? An outside outlet and release valve. If I am going to accomplish my goal, I need to vent my anger and talk through my situation. What better outlet than internet strangers? I am at peace with how and when my life will conclude. Reply 1. I personally would leave everything to your kids including the house, if possible, and I would make sure that she got left absolutely nothing. I would also not tell her anything about you and get your will and proof all done in separate finances from her and keep your money safe. I would personally leave her broke and homeless with proof of her infidelity and I would never touch her again and would make excuses all the time, so I wouldn't have to. Let everyone find out at the reading of the will. I'm truly sorry that you are going through this and I am sending prayers to you. Reply 2. If you can't sell it all, write your will so that everything goes to your children, and nothing for the wife. In fact, make sure you include a clause in the will that outs her affair as the reason for her disinheritance. Store the video evidence in a safe place, preferably with the attorney you pay to write your will, and make sure that the video is presented at the will reading. Update. I am going to give some general information to help clarify my situation. Sarah and I were very young when we had the twins. They were a surprise but always wanted. So the twins are in their 40s and the grandkids are all teens and older. Christmas is a week-long affair every year. We spend Christmas through New Year on the farm. We go cut down a tree after everyone arrives. We decorate, cook, play, and celebrate as a family. Sarah and Steve have been a part of this tradition since I bought the farm. I remain steadfast in not telling anyone until after the new year. If I told Sarah, she would not be able to keep it in. I don't want to place Steve in a position to lie to his wife. I want the kids and grandkids to enjoy the week. We will have plenty of time to cry and prepare in a few weeks. Jane's presence this week will just be a small detail in the long run. Really, I don't care about her anywhere near the rest of the family. The finances are very interesting. Jane and I met and were married after we both were very established in our job and wealth. She had a good job with a great pension. She also had 2 inheritances that were in a trust. We agreed early on that we were both comfortable and we would not disclose to each other our entire worth, by her insistence. We also have a prenup where any property and/or trust that predate the marriage and any income from those resources are not considered marital property. Again on her insistence. Now I have provided both properties, housing, with utilities. I purchase the travel, food, and fuel. Basically, I support her 100%. Her income and wealth is spent by her on herself. She purchased her car, clothes, personal travel, and cosmetic surgery. She is a very beautiful woman on the outside but has shown she is very ugly inside. A few days after I got my diagnosis, I announced my retirement from the nonprofit. Now knowing what I know, I noticed Jane was a bit uncomfortable. I can guess why. I will be around more often. So tomorrow is my last day of work. Now I will be focusing on spending time with the family. I gave the camera server info to my lawyer and gave him access from his office. So I don't know if they had activities again, but I would assume yes. Again, I don't care at this point. I know who I am and what is my worth, and AP is a big step down. As flashy AP is, I am low-key. I drive a 15-year-old pickup truck. I like jeans and t-shirts and coveralls in the winter. I know for a fact that AP does not have anywhere near the wealth that Jane thinks he does. How? Since the trust has invested in his business, I get quarterly financials. I don't tell anyone how much I have, that is between my accountants and me. But let's just say that the trust has been growing for 30 years. I live a modest life. And there is enough there for my great-great-grandchildren to enjoy the farm and have their education paid for. Once Jane knows what she lost, that will be her reckoning. I just won't see it. December really got busy. We did our normal social rounds these last weekends. AP was at one of the parties. It was hard to not keep an eye on Jane and him. I don't think I was caught. With being so busy and wrapping up everything at the job, I have had an easier time keeping it together. Jane has not expressed anything that would lead me to conclude that she knows I know. I am not proud of this, but I still sleep in the same bed. I have been selfish with her as of late. I feel like I am using her. But she has apparently been using me for at least the better part of this year. I am not as honorable as many of you have made me out to be. I hate this small amount of deceit. So don't worry about Jane getting everything, because she will not. The trust is in great hands. I have detailed instructions on how it is to be managed. Thanks to the comments, I have made plans in case my health turns for the worse sooner than I want, or if I pass unexpectedly. I have also made plans to have in-home care when it is needed. Jane will not be my caregiver. If I become incapacitated, the lawyer will tell Sarah, Steve, and the kids. Jane will be blocked from me. All important papers, valuables, and whatnots have been moved to a safe location. Finally, I have also started letters to each family member and Jane. Those have been harder than I thought. So I wanted to update you all before all of the festivities start. I might check in during the holiday week, but if I don't, it is planned and expected. Reply 1. Thank you for the update and clarification. I am glad your twins are older. There is no doubt they will be devastated by your prognosis, but they are old enough to handle it. I wish you nothing but peace in your coming days, and I hope you will be able to build more lasting memories for your grandchildren. One suggestion: take a lot of videos over the holidays. In the years to come, when your children and grandchildren break out the photos of family get-togethers, having video to watch does more than put a picture to the name. Generations to come will be able to see your smile, laugh, and hear your voice. Reply 2. Good luck, Op, and you are the man. I am really sorry about your health, but glad you are making plans to enjoy what days you have left. I will recommend this, as my uncle did this, but he was very ill but decided to make his last trip to Israel for his repent. On his last days of his trip, the hotel staff provided him with a customary hot female prostitute Israeli girl and enjoyed his night. It was total confidence booster, and he was so happy and forgot about his cheating ex. He passed 1 year later but left a letter for us all. Thank you for paying for his trip. Just an option, Op. I always want to see a person have his moment before he. My girlfriend, 24F, is a hypocrite and I don't know what to do. My girlfriend is amazing. Our chemistry is amazing. We want things to work, but I feel like I'm going crazy. We've been dating for 10 months and spend every day together. She's brought it to my attention that my body language is awful. The things she tells me are kind of outrageous. If I shake my leg, she accuses me of being turned on, and, God forbid, if there is someone in the room or on the TV, she will come to the worst conclusion. If I run my hands through my hair, she accuses me of spreading my pheromones. If I lunge to grab something in the supermarket, I'm accused of showing my ass off to the gay couple. I'm straight ASF. Yet if I bring up that she does the same thing, if not much worse, she flies off like a loose cannon, full of denial and excuses. Alas, I've adjusted my body language to make her more comfortable and she stays the same. She has accused me of watching girls dancing on TikTok and I've proved her wrong. Watch history. I've been held to the gun a dozen times on this sort of a thing, so I deleted the app. But then I find out months later that she is watching porn, but it's just for practice, and it was for you, she says. She has accused me of putting myself on display if I manspread even a little. It's so uncomfy, but I changed it anyway. Yet she will wear the shortest dresses and her underwear is always showing when she sits, but it's, I want to look pretty for you, and I can't control it, she says. She has accused me of being too close to people and flirting if I sit beside her friend at the dinner table without saying a word. Yet she will be basically breathing down my best friend's neck and give them the "fuck me" eyes and exclude me from the conversation. I've terminated my bubbly personality and distanced myself from people, but I'm just being friendly, and I just want to get to know your friends, she says. I'm really worried I'm doing these things just to give her control and help her hide from her insecurity as opposed to me having bad body language. I would never have a problem with the things she's doing if I hadn't built resentment from the fights and changes I've made despite everything. Is it that this change is good and she should take her own advice? Or is it that I'm snuffing out my personality to save her from herself? I really don't know. Reply 1. Your girlfriend is a weird asshole. Being with her is making your life worse. It's making you worse. Her hypocrisy is glaring, but even if she were 100% consistent about holding herself to the same standards, that'd be a huge problem because her standards are fucked up. She's either so deeply insecure it verges on delusional and is harming you as a result, or she's deliberately, abusively manipulative. Try to remember the person you were before you met her and ask yourself what he would think of the situation you're in now. Are you living a life you'd have wished for yourself? Reply 2. Your girlfriend is a weird asshole. Being with her is making your life worse. It's making you worse. Her hypocrisy is glaring, but even if she were 100% consistent about holding herself to the same standards, that'd be a huge problem because her standards are fucked up. She's either so deeply insecure it verges on delusional and is harming you as a result, or she's deliberately, abusively manipulative. Try to remember the person you were before you met her and ask yourself what he would think of the situation you're in now. Are you living a life you'd have wished for yourself?